999ers risk their lives every day, keeping us safe.
My heart was racing, but you just do it because you're a police officer.
But all too often, they're abused and attacked.
I have been punched, kicked, spat at, sworn at. I think most of us have.
These personal attacks on police, firefighters and paramedics are at an all-time high.
I could feel the blood running through my shirt.
He grabbed me around the throat with both his hands,
Leaving them traumatised and unable to work.
It's then left me questioning, is this the job that I want to carry on with?
But while the violent criminals responsible are hunted down and brought to justice, our protectors fight to get well and back on the job.
I'm not going to get beaten by somebody who decided they're going to try and hurt me.
Ready to face the next critical incident.
Stand still! Police routine, just show yourself!
Coming up. Avon and Somerset Police's nighttime economy shifts are ramping up.
You know, we're often dealing with people who are heavily intoxicated through excessive alcohol consumption and or recreational drugs. It can be dangerous and officers do get injured.
And when criminals use desperate measures, we examine how anything can become a weapon in the wrong hands.
3 Bub Urgent. They've ran me and attacked me.
And a North Wales PC talks about the difficulties faced as a visible minority in the force.
We experience things that no other officers would experience when it comes to like sort of racial abuse, anything from microaggressions to flat out overt racism.
Bristol has one of the UK's most vibrant nightlife scenes. Each weekend, thousands congregate on the streets of Bristol's city centre. It's the responsibility of Avon and Somerset Police to make sure the public can party safely.
Our aim is to have a high visibility police presence for reassurance to the public, dissuade offences where possible through that overt presence, engage with the door staff, engage with members of the public, and try and make sure that people who want to go out and have a fun night out do, and those who are out to spoil fun are dealt with robustly.
Inspector Dave Marchant is key to keeping Bristol's revellers safe.
My specific role is as the operational commander for the nighttime economy operation. In Bristol, that's called Operation Brio. The nighttime economy is primarily licensed venues, so you've got your normal pubs, then you've got your sort of larger pub venues, and you've got a number of nightclubs and other establishments, music venues. They've got a variety of different closing times, and we just have to have a presence around all of them and respond to incidents that are either inside them, outside them, or in the vicinity of them. Our shift starts at 10 o'clock. We'll hold a briefing for the officers, telling them the information and intelligence that we have.
Thank you everyone for coming. It's a treat to see everybody in this building.
And it can run from anywhere finishing at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, but it's not uncommon for it to finish at 4, 5 or even 6 o'clock in the morning, depending on the number of people that are out in the city and the number of incidents that we are dealing with.
Operation Brio involves officers from across the Avon and Somerset force. It's a thoroughly modern approach to policing, and it's meticulously planned.
Here's some crew-ins. If anybody doesn't like them, blame Pete, he's not here. Who's he put on Park Street? Aaron. Sorry about that, mate. Who else have we got there? Oh, sorry, Ian. Right, you've all got your crew-ins. So it's payday weekend. It might be a busy one. We're calling it a high Brio.
So obviously we've got our personal issue radios. We run on a dedicated channel for the nighttime economy. We have members of staff in our police headquarters in our control room.
Mabel, can I run another person through, please?
And obviously, we've got officers in CCTV. They can provide information real time, guiding officers to incidents. So it's a very extensive network which enables a very quick police reaction to most events.
Nighttime policing is unpredictable, and the team's focus needs to be right on point.
Typical nighttime economy offences that we deal with are fights, so assaults. We can also deal with public order, antisocial behaviour, drug use, sexual offences.
Spiking. We all know spiking is a hot topic at the moment, so we anticipate some.
There's a lot of sort of different levels of experience going out on my team. I've got officers ranging from less than a year's worth of experience to, double figures of experience, 10, 15 years plus, who've seen it all, done it all.
Cheers, guys. See you out there.
Policing the nighttime economy is a fantastic place for police officers to learn their trade, deal with a very condensed set of situations, this experience of potential conflict, disorder, and sort of the nighttime, everything else that the nighttime economy brings.
Inspector Marchant is predicting a busy night ahead for his officers.
It has a number of the ingredients to be pretty busy. It's the start of the year, so there's possibly an influx of students back. The weather's not great, but that doesn't necessarily deter people from going out.
It's 11 p.m. and PC Andy Schlegelmausch and his colleagues are just starting their shift.
It's payday. The COVID restrictions have now gone. So tonight could be, well, it could be busy. But yeah, looking forward to just getting out and getting stuck in. With this job, you never expect to finish on time. You can finish to an hour to 3 hours late most days. So yeah, it's busy. We got Matt, who's driving tonight. He's our crew bus driver who's response. And then we got Bex.
The plan is to respond to calls that we get to come in, maybe help other officers out if it's particularly busy in an area. So yeah, we'll be on response. I only just started out on district in July. So this is my second time on Brio. This is my second night shift. And it keeps things fresh. I do enjoy it.
It's not long before the team are called into action when reports come in about a man behaving inappropriately in a nightclub.
Inside the club here, he may have touched a female. We're trying to just get initial details from her about what actually happened.
The male's been ejected from the club. He's then had a bit of a scuffle with the door staff and obviously has been pinned to the floor. He's currently been arrested for that. So we'll see if she wants to make an allegation. If she does, we'll take her details, see if there's any CCTV we can. We're just waiting to find the female that was inappropriately touched. Door staff are currently trying to find her, so I believe this is the female here, so I'll just go and sort out.
After consultation with the alleged victim and the door staff, the police make a decision.
The male is being de-arrested at the moment due to the female doesn't want to make an allegation. The door staff doesn't want to make an allegation, so what we're going to issue now is what we call a Section 35 dispersal notice. So the male's going to be taken back to the hotel he's staying in. He'll be given the Section 35 dispersal order, which will probably be for 24 hours, which means that if he re-attends Bristol City Centre tonight, he will be arrested. So it basically means, because how drunk he is and how he's behaving, it means he's got to stay in his hotel pretty much now, so he doesn't cause any more trouble.
Excessive drinking, alcohol intake is probably one of the biggest driving factors behind what we deal with in the nighttime economy, not only in terms of changing people's behaviour, people sort of act as a character, become more aggressive, they lose their inhibitions, they're more willing to do things they might not otherwise do, or things which are completely out of the norm for them. But equally, it can make people significantly more vulnerable to becoming victims of crime, whether it be assaults, robberies, sexual offences.
The male's now gone. We'll jump back in the van now, and yeah, we'll wait for whatever else comes in. It's a sort of rewarding job. You make a difference. You make sure, especially the Friday nights and that, you make sure people go home safe. That's the whole idea of it.
I think being a female and given recent offences against sexual assaults against other females at the moment, I'm always kind of looking out for females that might be particularly vulnerable. So if they're on their own, if they're really, really drunk, if their friends can't move them on, that's kind of things I look for. But I also look for, see if you can see anyone that maybe looks a bit heated, if there's arguments going on, maybe a fight might start kicking off. Any antisocial behaviour perhaps. that's what I kind of keep my eye on, but everybody might be a little bit different, especially for people in the front, because they can see a little bit more. They might be spotting something that I don't see, because I'm just looking at the side windows here.
Later, a road traffic collision leads to an assault on an officer.
Stop resisting. Right, you're under arrest, right, for assault police.
Most recent figures reveal that a staggering 37,000 officers in England and Wales have been assaulted in just 1 year.
We've got a weapon, ambulance. Call 999 if you can.
The most serious of these involve weapons of some kind.
Get the knives away, get the knives away, get the knives away.
One thing that does keep me awake is that a police officer or a member of staff working for me gets badly hurt at work. And so I'm obviously going to be really worried where people tend to use weapons and knives against police officers.
And it's not just so-called traditional weapons that officers are worried about.
Put the hammer down!
The weaponisation of everyday objects is you know, it doesn't have to be a knife or a gun. It could be a makeshift weapon of any description.
He's dumped a screwdriver on the floor by his left-hand side.
We've got to wake up and realise that not all weapons are knives and guns.
Chief Constable of South Wales, Jeremy Vaughan, knows the welfare of his officers rests on his shoulders.
Tendency and propensity of people to pick up weapons, to use knives or other serious items to do serious harm, it is a real worrying concern of mine. Whoa! That's why it's so important that we investigate proactively lots of these offences, that we make it known that it's not okay to carry weapons and knives in public places.
In Bristol, an officer bravely confronted a man armed with a hammer. Local Police Federation Chair Mark Loker is familiar with what happened.
We received a report that a member of the public had been randomly hit over the head by somebody wielding a hammer.
As an officer drew her taser, he threw the hammer, narrowly missing her head.
This is a big guy. This is a strapping man who has just thrown a hammer with full force at a police officer. That could kill them. The taser, at that point, there's metal barbs that have to make contact with the skin, and because of the puffer coat, they've clearly not contacted with the skin. What the officers here is doing is you have additional cartridges, so they're taking the cartridge out, and then you see the cartridge being thrown onto the floor there. Look at this. That's 2 strikes with a metal asp, and it just bounces off of him.
Unable to be restrained any other way, the female constable fires a second taser shot. This time, it downs the perpetrator.
But then this officer does brilliantly there. They recognise that it's going to be effective. I believe taser was then deployed brilliantly, you know, very, very quickly. The officer stepped back out of the way from the hammer attack.
What impresses me the most is how police officers, she didn't run away, did she? She realised, no doubt, she'd been called there to deal with somebody who had either committed some offences or somebody was really worried about. So notwithstanding the person used potentially lethal force on them, she still stayed there with her colleagues and still fulfilled and pursued her duty to try and restrain the individual.
It's going again, it's going again!
You know, it never ceases to impress me, actually, the restraint that the majority of police officers show when dealing with difficult situations. Have to take the emotion and the panic out of the situation and just deal with it professionally.
In this incident, defensive countermeasures were crucial.
We expect police officers to come from all backgrounds, all walks of life, all sizes and capabilities, because we employ them for their thinking and the way that they apply the law and the way that they apply discretion and the empathy and care they show people. So for that basis, you know, sometimes there's a mismatch between police officers and the offenders they're having to deal with. So to be able to draw upon taser is really important.
The attacker was convicted of unlawful wounding, affray, and possessing an offensive weapon. He was handed a restricted hospital order.
You get used to dealing with people who are difficult, and also you get used to reading the situation. That's important, to being able to establish whether an individual is likely or not to be violent. And then, of course, was the same, but increasingly now we've got really good records available to us. So when police officers go to incidents, they can perhaps have a greater sense of understanding what might be facing them. But it's not all predictable.
This Derbyshire officer couldn't possibly have predicted the nightmare scenario he found himself in. He was preparing to stop a vehicle thought to have been involved in a burglary. Suddenly, a suspect approached. A masked man battered the car with a sledgehammer. The officer was single-crewed without backup. He reversed from the attacker.
They've ran me.
The officer maintained his calm and called for assistance as he made his escape from serious danger.
For some people, the consequences are really high. They might do anything to flee that situation. If that involves hurting you, then so be it. That's always been the case in policing. And police officers just develop a robustness, develop resilience around that because we all need them to.
Yeah, all four wheels look to be deflated.
He did try to ram, but my car's taken quite a bit of damage now. I'm not sure how long it's going to last.
During an arrest in Northamptonshire, 3 officers were required to restrain an offender. He threw a punch and struck one of them. As the struggle continued, the man became increasingly desperate. He got behind one officer and bit down on his ear. All 3 finally managed to subdue the man. One officer was left with a severe injury to his ear.
To be bitten, it just makes you feel like you're worthless. A lot of people will say, I'd rather be punched or verbally abused than being bitten, because it just makes you feel like you're nothing. And you're trying to do your job. You're trying to protect people. And for some reason, people decide they want to just bite you.
I've been bitten once in my career, and that was in West Brom Town Centre. And that was by a shoplifter. It's whatever they feel that they can grab a hold of. If they're intent on getting away, they'll do anything to escape. If they can't do that, they'll bite.
Right, stop resisting. I don't bite. Ow. Relax and stop resisting. I need to get to hospital. Can you see the bite marks, sir?
Policing's always been a difficult job. It's always been a job that people often put themselves at harm's way without fear or favour, without question. The amount of times I've seen examples of police officers doing just that is just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Whoa! Police with taser! Taser officer! What's happened there? You've been sprayed! Police officer with taser! It's ammonia! Watch yourself, ammonia! You're under arrest for assault and you've just sprayed an obnoxious substance in a police officer's face. Andy, are you right?
We care about what's happened to them, that we're putting plenty of wrap around them, and that we're rebuilding their confidence, because at times it knocks people's confidence about the difficult job they've got to do.
Turn it off for now, mate.
In the wrong hands, anything can become a weapon.
Thankfully, motor vehicles used as weapons against officers is not that common. But when it does happen, it can be hugely devastating for the officers involved. I mean, a moving vehicle is such a dangerous weapon.
In Oldbury, a police motorcyclist spotted a suspected stolen car.
So, police motorcyclist spots a suspicious vehicle, the kind of thing we expect police officers to do every day, and pulls the police vehicle over.
He pulled up alongside to question the driver.
Clearly, the individual involved did not want to get apprehended and took the devastating decision themselves to knock the police officer off their bike.
6-9, I've been deliberately rammed off my bike from that vehicle. It's gone left towards Blackie.
So many things that mean that people need to fly and really escape and evade as much as they can. And that's the kind of thing that police officers deal with day in, day out. And, you know, you always need to expect that your individual that you're dealing with is going to try and escape from you. And police officers will do everything they can to detain individuals like that.
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure you don't need to sit down,
I'm good.
mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Worst thing about it, it's not the first time it's happened, it won't be the last.
So in that clip, you see the worst and the best of humanity. You see the terrible actions of an individual who actually we ought to pursue, and I'm sure we did pursue to the ends of the earth to catch them and take them and bring them to justice. And then we saw members of the public run in to help a police officer who'd been knocked off their bike.
The driver was later arrested and admitted to assault, dangerous driving and driving while disqualified. He was jailed for 3 years.
The police officer's response was just typical of a police officer. No, don't worry about me, I'm okay. First thing they did was to call it in.
6-9, I've been deliberately rammed off my bike from that vehicle. It's gone left towards Blackie. 2 IC1 males on board.
The first thing is to say there's a stolen vehicle making off, there's 2 people involved, and so that they can alert other units to catch them. So their priority was not to worry about themselves, their priority was to catch the bad guys. And that makes me so proud, and when you see things like that, it makes you proud to be a police officer.
Still to come, on night patrol in central Bristol with Avon and Somerset Police.
Dealing with people who have had a lot of alcohol can be quite challenging.
It's pay weekend and the team are busy.
Who was driving?
Me.
And PC Amit Patel reveals the extra pressures faced by frontline minority officers.
When you experience racism as someone who's visibly different, it can be quite disarming at times. For me personally, I think, you know, it's one of those things where I think, well, why have they said that, you know?
In Bristol, a team of Avon and Somerset police officers have taken to the streets as part of their nighttime economy patrol.
Inside the club here, he may have touched a female.
It's an important and unpredictable policing operation, and the team have already been busy.
If he re-attends Bristol City Centre tonight, he will be arrested.
Typical nighttime economy offences that we deal with are fights, drug use, sexual offences, you name it, you can pretty much come across it in the city centre. It's a very varied and tricky operation to run.
When this club kicks out, there usually is quite a bit of trouble due to the amount of people. At the moment, they've got about 1,200 people in there. You can hear it's quite busy. There's a fair few people in there.
Typically, we'll patrol around the vicinity of the licensed premises, be they pubs, clubs, or other licensed venues.
Right.
So our aim is to have a high visibility police presence. So we use a combination of officers in vehicles and on foot to police nighttime economy.
Some nights it can just be all good response. Chatting to members of the public, really positive, really friendly. Take care, bye. Other times you can walk around and you'll get like pig noises behind you or abuse shouted at you.
It can be dangerous. I think over the years, probably every member of my team, myself included, has been assaulted during the course of the nighttime economy to varying degrees. You know, we're often dealing with people who are heavily intoxicated through excessive alcohol consumption and or recreational drugs. It can be dangerous and officers do get injured.
PC Andy Schlegelmausch and his crew are out on foot to patrol one of Bristol's most vibrant areas.
It's the waterfront in Bristol. It's busy, but not usually as busy as what it is. So we'll have a little wander down. There's a bar down here which does get a bit of trouble. So we do pay it a bit of attention every now and then just to make sure the door staff are all right as well.
You're looking for, people acting, strangely. You're looking for people acting in an aggressive manner, looking for tense body language, signs of aggression, and quite often we can get in and diffuse things.
It's 1 a.m. and the PCs have spotted some aggro outside a nightclub.
You need to go away. You need to go. They're not going to let you go back in, so you're going to have to move away.
We're just liaising in the area. We saw that door staff had kicked this young male out of the club because he was wearing his hood up and had a face mask on. No one could see what he was doing, what he looked like. They asked him a number of times to take it down. He refused.
No, mate, come here.
Listen, bro.
Right, come here. Right, get back. Come here.
He tried to get back in, so we were trying to remove him. So at the moment, we're issuing him with a Section 35 dispersal order. So he has to leave a specific area for a specific amount of time, so we can't cause any more issues. And should he return, he could then be arrested.
Right, you were getting a Section 35, okay? For dispersal, okay? The Section 35s, it's great for especially Friday nights, Saturday nights, just basically dispersing people who are causing trouble, antisocial behaviour. So it's a great tool. It's not there to be abused. It gives us that option to sort of say, right, you've had too much, it's time to go home. ID.
We're trying to just manage like crowd control as well, because his friends are trying to get a little bit mouthy with us.
I just need your ID, mate. Like I said,
I understand because
give me your ID.
If I had a hood on my jumper, I would put it up as well.
Dealing with people who have had a lot of alcohol can be quite challenging. So it's just trying to manage people's expectations and trying to level with them, but it is difficult when alcohol is involved.
The young man is handed a Section 35 and told to leave the city centre. No arrests are needed. The difficulties continue as Andy and his crew hot-foot it to a new call-out.
Call came out that there was a fight on the waterfront. Obviously, we were about 100 yards away from it. Officers have called for assistance, so they've detained one male outside the bar. This male's then obviously made off, being chased by other officers, and obviously he's come across in our earpiece, and because we're so close by, quick foot chase. Male's obviously detained. He's been arrested at the moment. So then that's been dealt with.
It's 3:30 a.m, but the officers are called to yet another incident.
Who was driving?
Me. My guidance to my officers is to try and enable people to have a good night out, but equally deal robustly with people who are, committing offences.
Andy decides to do some background checks on the occupants of the vehicle.
Maybe can I run another person through, please?
As the police are questioning those involved, one of the car's occupants becomes aggressive.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Right, you're under arrest.
Right, for assault police. You don't have to say anything, but in my own defence, don't mention questions which later on in court, anything you do say maybe get evidence. All right?
Stop touching me!
Get yourself in there and sit on this.
Ah, right. I'll get tissue for you, Sarge. She's just spat in Sarge's face. I've got my water bottle there, Sarge.
She's caught me right in the shit.
Did she catch you in bad, did she? I saw she kicked. Did she get you right in the face as well? With a...
You have to do it, or we can take her there in our back.
So she's kicking the cage, just the sort of type of thing you've got to deal with, but her welfare is the main thing at the moment.
It's become far less predictable than what it used to be by a long stretch, which keeps us on our toes. You used to be able to go, it's a payday weekend, it's warm, there's been a big sporting event on, there's going to be a higher footfall in the city. But at the moment, with COVID and how it has been over the last few years, it's become increasingly hard to predict, and we have to respond accordingly to make sure that we resource the nighttime economy operation sufficiently to enable the city to be as safe as possible for those people wanting to go about and enjoy their evenings.
Is the council on this time of night to come and sort some of this mess out at this RTC? She's hit this tree really hard, mate, and it is moved. Whether this tree is now unstable, I couldn't tell you, but obviously that needs to be checked out as well. And she's also, hit the pavement, so all the curbs are up. Top man. Thanks, mate. Bye. They can just rip off at any minute.
After a long shift, the crew are back at base, ready to sign off for the night.
Yeah, it's time to go home, I think. It's still quite busy in town with jobs coming through. Tonight's been all right. We've gone from people sort of fighting to people being idiots to RTCs. Hopefully people support what we do on a Friday and Saturday night, and you know, appreciate that we're out there just sort of hopefully making it safe for them to have an enjoyable and safe evening, really. I'm pretty tired, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, ready to sort of go home, get into bed and have some kip.
Go.
In January 2019, firearms officers in Manchester closed in on a suspected member of an organised crime gang who they'd had under surveillance. The man was searched.
Do you have anything on you that you shouldn't have?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you have?
I don't know why.
Can we just dress him? What do you have on you at the moment?
I think it's a grenade.
You think you've got a grenade?
Yeah.
And shockingly, he had a grenade in his pocket.
Yeah, and in my arm here.
In your pocket under your arm?
This pocket here. Here. Yeah.
Yes, that is a grenade.
Grenade!
A further search revealed he was in possession of a firearm.
Where is the gun?
In the arm here.
Where is it?
Here.
I have the grenade in my hand. Hold on. Right, you commence the search. Yeah. You pop off.
The man's arrest led to further searches.
Listen to me. Oi, look at me. Oi, look at me. Is there anything else?
Nah. What else is there?
Come!
There's no else.
And the discovery of significant amounts of drugs and cash. As a result of solid police work, a criminal gang had been dismantled. The suspect pleaded guilty to firearms offences, as well as drugs and money laundering. He was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison.
Salam, you okay? Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
North Wales police officer Amit Patel is on a weekly visit to an Islamic centre.
Thank you.
As part of his work to promote the police force to ethnic minorities.
I currently work for the workforce representation team, and it's our job to try and encourage those from underrepresented groups to consider policing as a career.
As a practicing Buddhist, Amit appreciates the value of reaching out to all faiths.
One of the things that we also do is we'll engage with the community leaders in different underrepresented groups, and some of those community leaders are imams in our local mosques, so we've got a few mosques in North Wales, and we'll go there on a Friday, because that's usually when they have a Jummah prayer, and we'll observe the prayer, and we'll maybe do a little talk afterwards if they've got time.
32-year-old Amit has been in the police since 2009.
I joined Cheshire initially as a special constable for about 4 years, and then in 2013 I joined North Wales Police as a response full-time officer.
But for him, it was an unexpected career choice.
I'm from an Indian heritage, and everyone in my family is it's like an engineer, doctor, dentist, something like that. And it was kind of the expected route for most of us. Like I say, no one really has joined the police, so it was a bit of a surprise. But my parents were quite supportive, and I'm lucky in that sense because I'm fully aware that other people from similar backgrounds to me have inherited sort of negative connotations towards authority figures, because my parents' generation grew up in, like, my mum came from Africa, my dad came from India, and you know, it would have, a lot of them have had very negative experiences of authority figures, and they've brought that along with them. So people from my background, even though we're born in this country, may have been a bit wary of the police and similar authority figures.
Allahu Akbar.
The workforce representation team is new to North Wales Police. It's probably started a couple of years ago, and it's a really positive role. And I think it's such important work because we need to be reflective of the communities that we're serving. The old saying is the police are the public and the public are the police. And that's what sort of spurred me on to join this team, because we need to be seen in the communities that we're serving. And now, as I say, we're a couple of years in, we're starting to see those that we've attracted into the organisation actually become police officers now. And we're seeing the next wave come through, and that's really rewarding as well, to have more representation. We've got our first ever, or one of our first black female special constables just joined now, and we've got more diversity in different areas like CID and response as well. So it's been really rewarding, and that's what I've joined it for. Yeah. I think it's important for people that look different or from a minority to be a visual presence on things like recruitment and be a role model, definitely.
And he said to him, be, and he was.
For people of my background, it's really important that they see someone like me in a uniform, because it's like 90-something% of people join the police because they know someone in their family, or they have a family friend who's already in the police, and that twigs them on to the idea of joining. With people like me, we just don't have that. You know, we don't have people from Indian backgrounds in the police as much, so you get far less people from my background joining. So I think it's important that I, try and promote this as much as possible.
You always feel so welcome. You guys always are so generous with your time, the teas and coffees, everything like that. And they feel really welcome when they come here. Every time I come, it's always about respect, peace, love, all these good, having manners, And I think if more people could see that and understand that, the outlook on Islam would change overnight, wouldn't it? I just want to say thank you again for having me. Thank you, and I'll come back.
Anytime you would come.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I'll be back soon.
Amit's dedication to promoting inclusiveness in the police force encouraged him to set up the Black and Asian Police Association with a colleague.
When I joined about 7 or 8 years ago with North Wales Police, there wasn't really a Black and Asian Police Association. So myself and another member of staff restarted it, and it's grown from just myself and him to, I think we've got about 20 in there now. And it's really flourished, and it's really important as well, because we experience things that no other officers would experience when it comes to sort of racial abuse or anything from microaggressions to flat out, overt racism. And it's really important that we can remind the force of that that's taking place. And we are in a minority of about 3 or 4% in North Wales Police at the moment, so it's really important that we are there for each other.
Amit is passionate about his role as a North Wales police constable. But like many officers from minority ethnic groups, his career has been blighted by racial abuse.
When I joined the police, I knew racial abuse would be a part of what I was going to experience. I'm not naive enough to think that I would never experience it, because some of the people we deal with are racist, and some people are in very desperate times, and they'll try and get a rise out of you in any way possible. I was preparing myself for it. I think I've been through just about every emotion there is when it comes to racism, but I'm at quite a good place with it now, where I'm very understanding, and I try and think of, well, where's that come from? Because no one's born a racist.
According to recent figures, racist attacks on police officers nearly doubled in 2020. More than 1,200 attacks on officers were linked to a racial hate crime in the 12 months up to November 2020. Offences ranged from harassment to causing grievous bodily harm, and follows 638 attacks in the previous year. In this body cam from Nottinghamshire Police, A female has been detained for breach of bail.
That hurts, man. Well, what's the hurt if you stop resisting?
Come on. Come on.
During the arrest, she used a racial slur against an officer.
Racially aggravated public order as well. There you go.
It leads to further charges of aggravated public order.
Darling, my wrist hurts.
337 with.
The offender in the footage was convicted of racially aggravated harassment. She was given a 12-week custodial sentence.
When you experience racism as someone who's visibly different, it can be quite disarming at times. For me personally, I think, you know, it's one of those things where I think, well, why have they said that, you know? Why would they say that? There were times before I was a police officer, it would just make me angry, make me really angry. But now, I think I try and be more understanding of it. It can be really disheartening, really discouraging, and it just sort of plays on the back of your mind for the rest of the day, and it's not something that you can ever get used to.
During his career, Ahmet has been a victim to a number of racist attacks, but there's one in particular that sticks in his mind.
We got called to a domestic-related incident, and the male was getting really aggressive. I was quite new in the job at the time. We all turned up, myself and a few colleagues, and the suspect was a very aggressive male, and he'd been taking quite a lot of different drugs that night as well. And he made a beeline for me and became really, really abusive and started becoming really racist towards me as well. So we ended up trying to arrest this guy, and then he started fighting. Took a few swings at me, again, being really racist as well at the time, saying a lot of horrible, horrible things. And then as we were arresting him, he spat in my face and a bit of it went in my mouth. I had to go to hospital as per protocol and get a blood test done. So whilst we apprehended him, got him in the back of a van, I went to the nearest hospital and started booking myself in at reception. And then whilst I was booking myself in, I saw in the car park outside an A&E, he turned up in, with my colleagues in the van, and he was being really aggressive again, so I then had to deal with him again. Got him in, tried to book him into the A&E, and all the time he was being really racist towards me again. And that was one of my first times in North Wales Police as a police officer where I was a victim of racism, and I think to this day it's probably the worst one. I thought, if I make a really good case file, he'll get what he deserves, and he did. When it went to court, everything he said towards me was read out in the full courtroom. His parents heard it. Everyone heard it and were appalled, equally appalled by it.
But Ahmet is proud to serve for North Wales Police and refuses to let the racial abuse deter him.
It does weigh you down when you're on the receiving end of racism. I try and be understanding. They've learnt it from somewhere, whether it be their upbringing, whether it be the environment, the family, friends, and that's what I'm trying to tackle.